I need you to take everything you think you know about Peppa Pig and set it on fire, not because it's wrong, but because what's underneath it is so much more interesting than a cartoon about a pig who likes puddles. This started, as most great conspiracies do, with a random video on TikTok. Someone driving through rural England, just a normal person having a normal day, filmed a house. Small, red roof, sitting alone on a hill like it had been placed there deliberately, daring you to recognize it. And people did, instantly, collectively, viscerally. Because that house, that was Peppa's house. Not a look-alike, not a tribute. The actual blueprint in brick and mortar, sitting in the English countryside like it had been there the whole time, quietly waiting to be found. And that one video cracked something open, because the moment you accept that Peppa's house has a real-world counterpart, that the outside is real, your brain immediately asks the obvious follow-up question: what about the inside? Let's talk about the inside. The official answer for why the house looks the way it does is almost insultingly simple. The creators designed it to resemble how children draw houses: hill, triangle roof, round windows, isolated from everything. Pure childhood imagination made visible. Sweet, wholesome, end of story. Except it's not the end of the story, because nobody told the interior of the house to follow the same rules. Walk up to Peppa's house from the outside and you're looking at what is generously a medium-sized garden shed with delusions of grandeur. There is no universe, none, in which that exterior suggests what's happening inside. A living room, kitchen, dining room, multiple bedrooms, hallways, stairs. The spatial logic of a country manor somehow folded into the footprint of a garden shed. And here's something people miss entirely: the windows. From the outside, the windows are small, charming, proportional to the tiny exterior. But inside, the rooms are bright, spacious, and well lit, which means either the laws of light work differently in Peppa Town, or the windows you see from the road aren't the only windows. There are parts of this house facing directions the camera never shows you, angles that are always just out of frame. The show gives you exactly as much of the house as it wants you to see, never more. And then, buried in a single throwaway line in one episode, Mummy Pig mentions a cellar.
We need to find a torch.
I think there's a torch in the cellar.
Okay.
A cellar, in a house, on top of a hill. I want you to sit with that for a moment. Daddy Pig, a man whose entire personality is misplaced confidence.
Can you do that, Daddy?
Show us, Mr. Pig.
Oh, all right.
2 hours later.
Apparently at some point decided to excavate a subterranean chamber beneath his hilltop home. Nobody questioned it. Nobody brought it up again. It was mentioned once, like it was the most normal thing in the world, and then quietly retired from the conversation forever. That's not a plot hole. That's a clue someone hoped you wouldn't catch. Here's the theory. What if the triangle on the hill isn't the house? What if it's the door? Think about it. The house, as seen from outside, could simply be the above-ground entrance to a structure that extends deep into the hill itself. Underground rooms, underground storage, an underground cellar that suddenly makes complete geographic sense. The show practically admits this in the camper van episode. Peppa steps inside a vehicle that is obviously larger on the inside than the outside, and instead of being amazed, she just nods and says it's just like their house.
The camper van is just like our little house.
She's not making a joke. She's stating a fact about her living situation. The Pig family lives in what is functionally an underground bunker with a decorative triangle on top. And before you laugh that off, look around at the rest of the town, because every house is on a hill. Every single one, not a coincidence, not an aesthetic. Every family in Peppa Town has planted their home on an elevated mound of earth, isolated from their neighbors, accessible only by going up. And the town is called Peppa Town, by the way, named after a child, which we'll get back to. For now, the hills. When a major flood hits in one episode, the narrator delivers the news with the energy of someone reading a grocery list.
The rain has made a flood.
Flooding, widespread, affecting the whole area. And everyone is fine. Not rescued just in time, fine. Not close call, fine. Completely, uneventfully fine. Because every single home is elevated above the waterline. The flood spreads across the valley floor while the residents of Peppa Town watch from their hills like they've seen this before. Because maybe they have. Maybe Peppa Town was built after a catastrophic flood. Maybe the original town, ground level, normal streets, regular houses, was wiped out entirely. And whoever rebuilt it made one ironclad rule: nobody lives at ground level, ever again. Every house goes on a hill. Every house extends into that hill. Every family gets a cellar, whether they asked for one or not. It's not architecture, it's survival protocol. And if you think that sounds dramatic, consider this. The adults in Peppa Town never panic. Not during floods, not during storms. Not when the power goes out, or the snow buries the roads, or Daddy Pig reverses the car into a ditch for the 4th time. There is a baseline calmness to this community that goes beyond good manners.
Grampy Rabbit's boat is sinking.
Don't panic! I've been in worse situations than this.
Really?
They don't panic because they've already prepared for everything. Every house has storage, every house has elevation, every family knows exactly what to do when things go wrong because in Peppa Town, things have gone wrong before, badly, and the town remembers it even if the show never says it out loud. The muddy puddles aren't just a fun activity either. Think about it. Why would an entire generation of children in this town be raised to enjoy jumping in water, to seek it out, to treat it as play? Because a community that survived a flood doesn't teach its children to fear water. It teaches them to be comfortable with it, to live alongside it, to jump in it and laugh. That's not a cute character trait. That's generational conditioning. Now, the town's name, Peppa Town. An entire municipality named after one specific child who at the time of the show is 4 years old. 4. She has been alive for 4 years and a whole town bears her name like she personally founded it. You could write this off as branding. The show is called Peppa Pig. Naturally, the town follows. Cute. But the show doesn't treat it as branding. Characters say the name seriously. It appears on official maps. It's just the name of the place. Like someone sat down in a town hall meeting, looked around at all the adult animals with careers and families and mortgages, and went, Peppa, we'll call it Peppa. And nobody objected, which tells you everything about Peppa's actual position in this society. This is a child who met the Queen of England and immediately started correcting her, told her how to jump in muddy puddles, demonstrated proper technique, and the Queen, the actual monarch, stood there and took notes. No security response. No, I beg your pardon, young lady. Just a sovereign ruler of a nation quietly learning puddle etiquette from a preschooler. That does not happen unless the preschooler outranks the monarch in some meaningful way. Peppa doesn't behave like a child who got lucky. She behaves like someone who has never once been told no by anyone who mattered. Confident, directive, completely unbothered by authority because she is the authority. Or at least she comes from it. The town is named after her family. Her house sits on the highest hill. She commands queens. Peppa Pig is not the main character of a children's show. She is the heir to something. So here's what we actually have. A town built entirely on elevated ground, designed to survive flooding, with homes that extend underground and hold far more than their exteriors suggest. Led, or at least presided over, by a family powerful enough to have the whole place named after their 4-year-old. Strip away the animation. Strip away the talking animals and the muddy puddles and the gentle background music. What you're left with is a fortified hilltop settlement, engineered for disaster resilience, governed by an old family whose influence runs so deep it's baked into the town's literal name. That's not a children's show. That's a medieval city-state with better branding. And here's the part that really doesn't let go. You can watch any random episode of Peppa Pig right now. Anyone. Pick it at random. And once you know what you're looking for, you cannot stop seeing it. The way the camera never fully shows the back of the house. The way nobody ever questions Peppa's authority. The way disasters resolve just a little too smoothly, like a community running a drill it's practiced before. It's all still there. It never went anywhere. It's been in plain sight since episode 1, dressed up in bright colors and set to cheerful music, aimed at an audience too young to ask questions. But you're not too young anymore. And the house on the hill? The one a stranger filmed from a car window in rural England, not knowing what they'd stumbled onto? It's still there, sitting quietly. Red roof, rounded windows, waiting on its hill like it's been waiting for a very long time. The question was never whether it was real. The question is, what's underneath it?